The talk today is about integrative healing. And as a lot of you know, I'm a psychiatrist, I'm a physician, and I've been practicing for about 22 years now. One of the things that um, I've gotten through my own healing journey and from reading books and learning many different healing modalities is that there are four general categories of like healing. And there's like the healing that's biological, that's about like the physical body. There's the healing of the psychological part of us, that's about our emotions and our thoughts. There's the healing of our energetic body, which a lot of Eastern medicine addresses. And then there's the healing of our spirit, and and finding what our spiritual purpose is. So in order to heal more comprehensively and completely, we have to address all of those four. So a lot of us are more familiar with the physical healing because it's physical manipulation of the physical body and also like the brain. And it's very interesting because Western medicine is all about that. So you have surgery and using of the medications to like treat somebody. And on the physical or the biological aspect too, exercise is healing, eating a more plant-based food is healing, essential oils are healing. So you want to think of like the biological part as like thinking of the body as a physical entity. Now the psychological healing is really about thinking that there's more than just the physical aspect of us, that we have thoughts and emotions. And when we have stressors from our relationships, from our work, that may be stressful in itself, but it can also trigger issues from our childhood that's unresolved. Meaning, if there was some abuse or neglect, from our childhood that hasn't been worked through and healed, then it can come up as like problems when we're dealing with our current relationships, with either coworkers or our husbands, our wives, or our children. So the therapy or psychodynamic therapy is the one.
Could you say that again?
Oh.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Wait a minute, Siri is responding. So the psychodynamic therapy is the one that makes us understand that like we bring baggage from our childhood that may be unhealed, and it's helpful like having the therapy. Then to also understand that that's not the only way to like heal that. Like some people may have post-traumatic stress disorder wherein their physical body and nervous system reacts as if past trauma or something that happened way back in the past is still affecting them, even though it's not present anymore. So people with post-traumatic stress disorder, for example, will have nightmares and flashbacks and they would startle easily. And talk therapy may not be the most effective way of like healing that, because it can re-traumatize people. And like there are modalities like EMDR, like eye movement desensitization reprocessing, or tapping, emotional freedom technique, or somatic experiencing that may be better than just talk therapy for the healing of post-traumatic stress. And there are, dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, that's about the healing of abandonment issues from childhood, especially when people get into, doing self-harm when they feel abandoned during a breakup, or like argument with like a loved one, because they have deep wounds from their childhood wherein they may have been abused, physically or sexually. So So there are many different types of therapies that are appropriate for that. So the third aspect of healing is the energetic part. And the fourth is spiritual. And this is where pranic healing and meditation and twin hearts kind of like fall. Because um, in energetic, like in Eastern medicine, um, they think of the body as having an energy form. Like there's an energetic body that interpenetrates the physical body. It means that like uh, if there's some way of like knowing if like the energy body has blockages in it and energy is not flowing well, what happens is that even though the physical body is not manifesting it yet, if that energy is not cleaned out, eventually it will manifest in the physical body and also like the emotional body. So if we have tools like sweeping and the pranic healing, then we can clean up this dirty energy before it affects the emotional and the physical body. So things that you're familiar with already, like for example, acupuncture. Acupuncture balances out the energy and cleans the energy out by using needles. Yoga cleans the energy out through asanas and poses. Tai Chi, which is a martial arts, balances the energy and clears the energy out from dirty energy through movements like martial arts movements. And then there are other energy healing modalities like Reiki. So pranic healing, which my teacher, originated and teaches, basically falls into the category of energetic healing and also spiritual healing. And then you have the spiritual healing, and it's a very broad category, but it just has a recognition that we are spiritual beings, that we have a spiritual purpose. And the reason why we want to heal from emotional and physical wounds is because we want to use the energy that's getting sucked out by the illnesses to be of service to the divine, to like fulfill our purpose while we're here on earth. So it's a very broad category, and it'll take so much longer to like explain that, but just think of it that way, that we all have a spiritual purpose, and part of the journey is really finding out what that is and fulfilling it. Okay, so I hope that gives you kind of like pause to like think about how you can heal physically, how you can heal emotionally, how you can heal energetically, and how you can heal spiritually. Just remember, not one of them possesses everything. So we need to take a look at all four. And when we combine the different types of healings, that's when they're most effective.